What is up, everybody? It's another Tuesday here with me, Eli. Okay, this week's topic is helpful media that we have encountered. And I'm gonna say that my number one would be social media. Like Tumblr and YouTube, yeah, specifically Tumblr and YouTube have been the most helpful of all. I found like a link that I had saved in my like drafts, and I'll put it down below of like this master post of just like trans resources. But really, like where I found a lot of people like feel safe enough to be out first is online, and our generation is super awesome that we have like all these options. If you have like a hostile environment that you're living in, or you don't exactly feel safe and in coming out, you can really find a community online and do like great things there. With mainstream media, I don't think I've ever, like, I know there are a bunch, well, maybe not a bunch, but there are like books with trans characters and um, shows with trans characters nowadays. There's a few, like Transparent has one, The Fosters, but I have not seen either of those. There's another one. There's a few out there, but I just don't watch that much TV, so I don't see those that much. But for print media, there is this anthology by TC Tolbert, and it is all trans and genderqueer poetry and poets, like a huge anthology. And so that's like my favorite thing right now. I'm using that as like a resource for my thesis. So that's like an awesome thing. If you like poetry, go check that out on Amazon. I think it's called Troubling the Line, and then there's like a lot of things after by TC Tolbert. But besides that, yeah, YouTube has been so great. Like watching people's transitions, even watching people's stories, channels like ours, like that I found before when I was just figuring out how to go about coming out, how to like tackle what non-binary means for me, like stuff like that. YouTube was like a lifesaver. I remember so many times I would just like sit at home and I had no media representation in my mind. I could not find anything, and I could not see anything that like without my parents knowing, like it was a stretch for me to even watch like the L Word when I was in high school, which has its problems. But my parents were very like, no, this doesn't exist, and so finding it was so great on YouTube. And Tumblr has been such a like little safe haven and way to build community. Being in a trans group at school also helps, because then you could just ask people like, hey, do you know anything? There's a movie coming out called Boy Meets Girl that has a trans girl as the protagonist, and I'm excited for that. I think it might be really cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much all this week. I found Tumblr and YouTube the most helpful medias, and I would say that one anthology is really rad for books, and I will put that link of Tumblr stuff below. Oh, also, I did my first cover ever on my personal channel, so you should go to my personal channel and check that out. Have a great day.